And that leads to violence, that leads to death, that leads to corruption, that leads to cutting off bloodlines, that can lead to riches, that can lead to glory, that can lead to fame. So it's really just how you being diverse and, being asked about it.
Yeah.
So, as you do elaborate next question, man, like, how do you feel about religion?
What do I feel about religion? I'm personally a Christian, and I believe that religion, reading the Bible, it's a good means to get to a better version of yourself. And speaking business wise, morally.
And to piggyback on that, I said about religion. So, you're a Christian and being around it. Like, what's your thoughts on like the money situation? People being used to just get money out of. It's not even about religion no more. Because a pastor might talk 5 minutes, then it's time to donate. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They might read a couple of scriptures from the Bible. Then after that, it's kind of like dead from that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then it's different from the Catholic, the Baptist Church. The Baptist Church, the Catholic Church. It's a whole mixture story. The New Testament, Old Testament. So like, what's your thoughts on like that?
I believe it's the people that empower these higher figures.
Welcome back to another video. This is season 6, episode 6. As we do get in depth with the question, this is one of the final episodes on this season right here. As we do get in depth, man, like, who am I here with?
Niall Chigwinde.
So like, as we do get in depth with the question, man, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Entrepreneur. My career is aviation. I see myself making 6 figures.
Elaborate, man.
Traveling the world. Elaborate. So you see, my passion is getting money in life. So
how does that look like? Elaborate.
Like
what's the what's the plan? What's the main goal?
Get through this school, show up every day, no days missed.
So a year from now, like, how does that look?
A year from now, I hope to still be going strong in this program, and I hope to be working for a company in a year, since I'll be after general, right? After our generals, we're able to start working for companies. They start looking for us.
As you do got prior experience, military experience, you could get in type of field doing contract work overseas. So that's one way you could go. But with the license, you make a quadruple amount you do make. So so like, how does that look when you're already in the field? So like, what motivated you to be in this field?
What motivated me? I have some connections. I have some people in my family that have gone down this route, and looking at what they do, I think I'd be fit to do the work.
So like, you said family motivated you to like thrive in this industry already as a young individual.
Yeah.
So like, like, as you elaborate, like, in this field, like, it's not for little boys, it's for men.
Yes.
So, if we do continue to like, thrive in this industry, like, how does it look when you're being into something that you're not supposed to be in? How does that look like? So what I mean by that is that what actually making you continue to thrive and do what you're supposed to do in this industry?
My own personal desire to make myself better.
How does it look like?
Speaking to her.
We're doing anything that it takes to get the work done. Like, personally, me, I haven't worked any jobs in my life, but I've always had money because of what I do for myself.
Illegally, criminally, like, explain that, because like now you got people like raising a red flag.
Yeah, because like,
it's a red flag.
Let me say I have an entrepreneur mindset in terms of like how I get my money. I don't like to work for someone else, but if it comes to it, I will. And also, I've done clothing. I've made money off of clothing, off my own brand. I've made money mowing lawns when I was a kid, so you know what I'm saying? I'll just get to the money.
So you got that entrepreneur mindset where you are not reliable on industries or commercial companies or anybody that's in that type of monetizing industry, like, somebody that's used people to make money.
Yeah, and then my end goal I think it's perfectly logical to start a business in this aviation field.
How does that look like? You know, like what type of industry do you want to see with your license go with? Because you know you can walk in many different fields with this.
I'm thinking I could just own my own repair station. That's my terms of thinking.
So you know, as we do elaborate, man. So like, what does it look like when you know being influenced by somebody that you're not usually around? So like, you know, like being in the hood. I mean, it means I'm gonna just use the hood as an example.
All right.
What motivates you to actually like walk out of certain situations if you was to be engaged in it? So what motivates a person to walk away from what they love?
When it opposes their morals, when it brings them out of their own state of comfort, I believe that's when you can see the change.
So you know, as you do elaborate, man. So like, what motivates the individual to like thrive instead of just walking around in circles all the time?
The fear of normalcy, for me, that allows me to push past what I think will keep me in the same place. If you understand.
Yeah, I kind of understand. You know, like you want to see change.
Yes, I do want to see change, and change for the better. Because all change isn't always necessarily a good change.
So you know, as you do elaborate, man. So like, what's your thoughts on abortion?
On abortion,
You know, like, what's your thoughts on abortion, man?
I believe that it's more detrimental to a kid to have parents that are unloving than to have just a life on this earth.
So you know, like, do you feel like it's woman's body's woman's choice?
I do believe that, yes.
So you know, like, what's your opinions on so people that feels like it's wrong in immortal? You know, you know, like it's not what's the word? It's not what's the word when they say it's immortal? Yeah. That's the
moral.
word. It's immoral.
Yeah.
You know, like how do you feel about people that like think like that? You know, it's godly. Because you should not kill kids, you should not do none of that.
In terms of morals, that's a hard subject to dive into because everyone has their opinions, but I believe that it's a detriment to the kid to have unloving parents, and at the end of the day, it is taking a life out of this world. Not even giving a child a chance, but it goes both ways in terms of morality.
So what's your opinion on, you know, individuals that are racist and biased and, you know, prejudiced?
Today we live in an age where racism, it just shouldn't be tolerated in my opinion, because as the human race, we have to just learn to love each other and grow with each other. And with the lasting racism, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense how we coexist with each other.
So have you been around people that have been prejudiced lately? Or like, you know, like people that like see you and judge you?
Not at all. Not at all. I feel like my environment's a pretty accepting environment, and I typically don't surround myself with people that think in that sort of way.
I see what you're saying. So, you know, as you do elaborate on this question, man, so like, what's your thoughts on your economy?
My economy, with these, I don't like how it's going, to be honest. The tariff has just been opposed by Donald Trump, and I believe that's gonna.
So do you think
put a lot
prices
stress
of
on us.
so do you think prices of living gonna go up and cost is going to go down? So what I mean by that is that your paycheck gonna go up, but costs are going to go up.
Yeah.
So you make more, but you spend more.
Our groceries, everything's gonna cost more for a good amount of time.
So you think so you think we're gonna get paid more?
I mean, if we get paid more, it's just like we're still gonna be paying more for groceries, still gonna be paying more for imported goods. So it's not really doing anything in the long term.
So like, like what's your thoughts on like, people that has money, power, influence, and all this glory but does nothing for their community?
I can't really say much because I'm not in that position myself, but
Yes, what's your opinion?
we're gonna have to run that back.
Yeah, what I said was, so what's your opinion on people that has money, power, glory, and influence that does nothing for their community?
I feel like that's their own choice in terms of what they want to put back in the community. But sensibly speaking, is to give back to what got you to the place you're at. So whether that's your parents, whether that's the people, your support system, I think that's just how it should be.
So it should be morally predominantly give back when you can and how much you can when your environment has been good to you.
Yeah,
See, I can go for that. Like if you want a problem child and you got what you got and actually thrive for it and grind it as much as you could to get it, I respect that completely. Because sometimes your environment can cause you to inflate and go out and just draft away. And that leads to violence, that leads to death, that leads to corruption, that leads to cutting off bloodlines, that can lead to riches, that can lead to glory, that can lead to fame. So it's really just how you being diverse and, being asked about it.
yeah.
So, as you do elaborate next question, man, like, how do you feel about religion?
What do I feel about religion? I'm personally a Christian, and I believe that religion, reading the Bible, it's a good means to get to a better version of yourself. And speaking business wise, morally, coincide with this religion that you follow, it's most likely not the best way to be doing it.
Um, so how do you feel about, every Sunday the churches get money as a Christian church?
As a Christian.
Because Catholics do it, they all still Christian, but then they all just follow a different section of the Bible. So that's why I never understood, as certain people believe in this, but you still read the same Bible.
Yeah.
So I never understood. So what's your opinion on a real Christian and if you're a Christian?
Thing I believe, since like times are changing, everything costs these days. They're gonna have to take a certain amount of money to maintain themselves. And would you repeat the second part?
I was saying, so like, what's your opinion on people that's being surrounded by nothing but power, money, influence that does nothing for their community? That's what I was saying. And to piggyback on that, I said about religion. So you're a Christian and being around it. Like, what's your thoughts on like the money situation? People being used to just get money out of. It's not even about religion no more. Because a pastor might talk 5 minutes, then it's time to donate. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They might read a couple of scriptures from the Bible. Then after that, it's kind of like dead from that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then it's different from the Catholic, the Bishop Church. The Baptist Church, the Catholic Church. It's a whole mixture story. The New Testament, Old Testament. So like, what's your thoughts on like that?
I believe it's the people that empower these higher figures. So they're only allowed to have as much power as we allow. So that means if we were to take all of our energy and efforts out of a corrupt facility, then it wouldn't prosper or thrive.
So you think so it sounds like you think religion is a tool to be weaponized.
No, I never said that.
So elaborate then, because that's what it sounds like to me.
I'm just saying in terms of the corrupt. If a part of the church might be corrupt or just money hungry, then we can take the power away from that as a people. But I don't think religion can be truly a weapon. I think it's just a tool to to bring yourself to a better being.
So, like, like, what's your thoughts on, people that like try to persuade something that they're not, like a thug, a gangster, probably like a millionaire, they ain't got no money, but they're portraying that image online where they are very either successful, either thugness, or either like just quiet and like, like, what's your thoughts on people persuading something that they're not?
It doesn't sit right with me. You know what I'm saying? Being something you're not in this life, just living your life, meaner, plastic. It just, you're not in this life. We don't have enough time on this earth to do that. Be you at the end of the day, because nobody can be you better than you. Nobody's gonna live your life better than you can live your life. So that's my thoughts on the situation.
So, we as do elaborate next couple questions, and as we do elaborate with the next couple questions, man. So, like, how does it feel when you're being told to be put in a situation where you have to keep living it and not change it? So let me elaborate. Let me elaborate. So you're you're in New York City and rent is always high. You live in Brooklyn and where you have to just become that individual where you have to get the bills paid. How does that look like when your government is not helping you? And every time you try to go do something, they're telling you that you don't qualify for, you have to wait. So like, how does that look like then? What do you feel like you should do?
Stagnation is the worst thing ever. So, in a situation where I'm stuck, like the principles that I've learned throughout my life, mad, you have to move, adapt, or die. Die in terms of deal with your problems that are current. And like I said, stagnation is the worst thing possible for a constantly evolving human race. So I believe you just have to take the steps needed to better yourself and to get yourself out of that scenario. If your leaders won't do it,
So you feel like it's just a waiting game by then?
I feel like it is. Sometimes it is a waiting game where you could take the initiative to change your own circumstances.
So what if you can't change it? You're surrounded by nothing but people that don't motivate you. You can't move away. You don't have the finances. You work two jobs, so you have kids, and you don't go to school. You got to take them. So like, how do you manage everything?
Back to that point of stagnation, it's a hard and cruel fate, but and
And, and,
that
and you
would
want to change it, but you can't.
yeah. So then it turns into a waiting game of if I can get enough money to get out of my current circumstances, then you make that happen.
How can you get the finances where it's just more struggling?
If it's
Back to every time you spend, you can save. Every time you spend, you can't save. Every time you spend, you can save. Every time you can't spend, you save.
I believe I believe thing is worth more than just an hourly pay.
And that
Like,
goes back to discipline, right?
yeah, you have to discipline yourself to really claw yourself out of that situation.
So like, like, how do you stay disciplined and how do you stay ambitioned to thrive?
Is weak, the term motivation, and because that's something that you could just lose over time. But I do believe that I'm motivated by the longing thought of normalcy, the longing thought of being stuck where I'm at, and also by the fact that there's people like me that wake up every day just like me and live their lives just like me, and they're getting better than me every day. So I think that's what really keeps me going.
So you think it's just person to person?
You say, does it vary person to person?
I'm saying, so you think it's just person to person, like very like on their situation? I'm saying, so it's go to person where like they grow up in their morals. Basically, like it's about your morals, how you handle. Because you can live in the hood, but you ain't the hood.
Yeah,
You can be in the hood. I mean, you could be in the suburbs, but you the hood.
yeah.
or you can be rich, but you're really poor inside.
Yeah.
Basically, what I mean, poor, you have no soul. You had all these riches like your Kylie Jenner, but she don't have a soul. She can't even go outside without people saying, "Hood, that's her." Like last night, they booed her on the Super Bowl. So people can feel like that, or you can feel loved. So it's more like a two-sided spectrum sword. So yeah, that's what I mean by that, man. So like, where can they find you here? Like, I mean, like, where can they find you at on here? Like Instagram, TikTok, social media.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at IXATOKII. And yeah,
So as we do like elaborate out of here, like bro, like, where do you actually see yourself a year from now?
a year from now, on the same path that I am now.
Like,
The
like get
path
more
to
in depth.
success.
Get more in depth. Like, where do you actually see yourself a year from this day?
A step closer to success. Always evolving, never stagnant. Always pushing to the next point to better myself. And then those around me, because it's not all about me at the end of the day. I have people around me that
Or counting on you.
yeah, that are counting on me. My support system. There's a lot of factors that go into myself, and I don't want to be a failure to myself or the people around me.
That's good, man. That's good. As you do elaborate, man, like everybody like, share, like, follow, comment, stay engaged, tap that screen. Make sure you guys like, stay in tune, check them out. Like always, this is season 6, episode 6. This is one of the last ones on this season right here. Season 7 will be coming out shortly. Make sure you guys like, follow, share, comment, stay engaged, tap that screen, check them out. And everybody, like I said, comment and like, follow, share. Until next time, you guys, peace out.